for us, and defense give us the offense an opportunity, the offense making the most of it. So it was a good team win. Yeah, I think it was huge, but I think what's more important is how we build off it and how we continue to grow from it.
Offensively, what did you guys do that you liked in that game?
You know, it was slow at first. We were struggling with the run game going. Then we got the run game going, and I think when we establish that run game, it allows us to run our full offense and dictate a little bit more than we'd like.
Is third down still a nagging thing for you guys?
Yeah, third down is something we're putting a lot of focus on it, and it's one of the things that's tough. You get different looks, and teams are bringing pressure and things like that. But it's what an offense needs to be good at to sustain drives and put points on the board.
It looked like the offensive line too. You said, okay, it's time for us to start winning.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely down the stretch, I felt like we were starting to wear them down. And, they had guys cramping up and stuff like that. So we felt that, and we felt like we could do anything on offense. We were running the ball well. We were throwing it when we wanted to, and we were really dictating the tempo and really taking it to them.
As difficult as it was, early on offense, you guys were able to put together a couple of 2-minute drives to give Rafael opportunities. How much pride do you take in that 2-minute offense?
Yeah, I think it's huge when, especially as a receiver and the quarterbacks, thing like that. That's our time, and that's the ball's in our corner, and we got to make the most opportunity. So I think we take a lot of pride in that 2-minute drill, and it's something that's been effective for us.
Alex, when you were the new guys coming in a year ago, where maybe you hadn't played as much, how long does it take to build trust, chemistry, and timing with the quarterback? Not just in practice, but in the game.
Yeah, I think it starts in practice, obviously, in the summer conditioning and things like that. But the game's when it counts, and that's when you really start to build the trust. And I don't know a certain number. But it's one of those things that kind of just has to come naturally, and it builds from that trust, like you said.
Coach Chris talks about, especially for seniors, you only get so many chances to play. I'm sure it felt good that you got a chance to play and contribute.
Yeah, definitely. When you're not sure if you're going to be able to play on Saturday, and obviously change your week, you don't prepare like you normally would. But it's something you don't want to take for granted. You never want to take the opportunity to play on a Saturday like that, because, like you said, they're limited. And I was grateful that I got the opportunity, and I was glad I could go out there and try to help my team.
What did you see from Jazz Petey beginning in the summer and in the spring? Because he's a guy who, before this year, I don't think people know what to expect.
Yeah, Jazz is one of those guys that he's really come along. He worked hard this summer, and we're glad he's out there with us, because he's definitely a playmaker for us, and you see him continue to grow every week.
I asked you about building trust and chemistry. Have you seen him build that? Because it looks like Joel looked like a crucial situation.
Definitely. Their relationship's definitely grown, and you can see it through his production every single week. It's continuing to grow, and just the big catches that he's making on third downs or picking up first downs. And if he can continue to grow like that, it's only going to help us.
It's very rare when a receiver on this team has more yards than the top running back, and so far it's been that way. Do you think this has been kind of an unusual year for the running game in terms of production and whatever factors may be?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Obviously, there's a lot of new guys on the line, the running backs, Corey going down. So it's been a growing process, and a lot of guys have grown through it. But we're not trying to use an excuse, next guy up mentality. You hear it all the time, but it's true though. Football's a physical game, and guys are going to go down. Yeah, it's been a little different, I think, just from the Wisconsin standpoint. But as a team, you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to adjust, and I think we're doing that. Thank you.
Say with the fact that you and Joel, and then Daria as well, being amongst the leaders of the offense, but also being former walk-ons, how important is the walk-on program to Wisconsin?
Yeah, I think it's huge. A lot of guys slip through, and Wisconsin has a lot of smaller schools and guys that don't get recruited like they should. But I think we take pride in that, and we take pride in playing for that W on our helmet, and just got to come out and perform every single week.
Because you have a couple emotional games these past 2 weeks. Do you think you have to say anything to the young guys as you get prepared for a team that, at least by record, is struggling?
Yeah, it's one of those things you got to play at your own level and focus on yourself. And I think, when you go from week to week, the season's a grind, and emotionally it's gonna be up and down and things like that. But I think we, as a team, we got to continue to grow. We got to just keep playing consistent, and I think that's key for us.
So no worries about let down after this past 2 games?
No, I don't think that's a worry of ours. We're going to prepare just like we have every single week. We're going to respect our opponent just like we have every single week. So I think that consistency is going to pay off for us.
How difficult is it to work through sort of a slow start and kind of stay focused even if you're in sort of a lull?
Yeah, it's one of those things you don't want to start slow because eventually it's going to catch up to you. And so we're working on it. We're trying to start faster and be more effective. And I think on third down that's going to help us a lot. Be able to sustain drives and hopefully hit some big plays to take some pressure off having to sustain huge long drives like that.
Last year, you really got going through the middle portion of the season. Do you see that possibly happening again here?
Yeah, I think so. I think it goes back to the way we prepare and the way we work throughout the season. We're still lifting heavy and things like that to keep that strength. So when that mid-season to later half of the season comes around, you're still at full strength and you might be even getting a little stronger. So I think, yeah, and then the consistency, how you prepare every single week, allows you to get comfortable, allows you to continue to grow.
I see that running game being a focus of that kind of. A lot of the younger guys have their feet wet now, no matter who's in there. You talk about next man up, but guys still have to get their feet wet.
Yeah, I think we got a good amount of experience under our belts now, and got a few Big Ten games, very physical Big Ten games under our belt. So, yeah, I think for us to take that run that we know we can take, we got to get that ground game going and continue to do so.
How much was that in terms of timing routes and with the passing game and looking back at the game, a lot of the 10 yards, 15-yard routes, how much timing do you guys have to put in there to make that happen between the quarterback and the wide receiver?
Yeah, it's definitely all about timing, precision, especially in our offense. Time precision equals completion. Coach says it all the time. If the ball's out on time and we're in the right spot, it's tough to cover, especially if they're playing an off zone coverage. It's no different than routes on air, just running your route, being patient, and not speeding up too much with the game.
How much is that difference from last year? Are there any differences in terms of the amount of work you guys have put in terms of that?
Yeah, I think the workload's been similar. It's just another year of experience, another year to grow, and I think that's where the difference has come in.
Thank you.
Alex, it's one thing